Chicago Cubs get busy in H-Town. We got to talk about it. Yeah. What's going on, Chicago Cubs fan? It's your boy, Mike Jones, back again with another episode of Chicago Cubs Central. That's right, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. Listen, the Chicago Cubs got downright busy in H-Town, and I couldn't tell you guys how impressed I was with this victory after losing yesterday, after getting blown out yesterday. I knew if the Chicago Cubs had one game that they needed to win in this series, it did more for them to win this game here today. Now, tomorrow, it just is all a matter of what happens. Now, to face the left-handed pitching, Chicago Cubs don't do great against left-handed pitching, so there needs to be a game plan for tomorrow. But let's just enjoy and savor this victory. Let's savor the Chicago Cubs beating the Houston Astros, improving their record to 49-34. Legit, the same record as the Houston Astros, who are now 49-34. If the Chicago Cubs can figure out a way to steal a game tomorrow and get their 50th win on the season, listen, this guy right here is going to be super excited, super hyped, man. We were raising the roof all night. It was a home run barrage. That's absolutely right. Kyle Tucker hitting a home run. Seiya Suzuki hitting a home run. Nico Horner hitting a home run. Michael Bush hitting a home run. That's right. Everybody getting involved when you're talking about the Chicago Cubs and the home run barrage. That's right. They brought out the boomsticks for this game against the Houston Astros. Let's get right down to it. Colin Ray looked like he was going to struggle again, but the Chicago Cubs are like, See, when you're a good team, sometimes when you're hitting the ball well and you find your offensive groove, or you go against a pitcher that is struggling, especially in a ballpark that has that easy of a porch out there and left to hit off of, which shout out to AJ Przinsky, White Sox, once a White Sox, always a White Sox, and he's still a Cub hater, even just because Michael Barrett beat him up during the Cubs White Sox series years and years ago, because he was on commentary for this game, and he definitely was showing all the hate towards the Chicago Cubs and not giving them props for those home runs they were hitting, even though they weren't cheapies. Michael Bush home run out there to the left was not a cheapie. He hit off the wall. Seiya Suzuki's home run almost hit off the railroad press of the railroad tracks that went up there. Now, Nico Horner's might have been a cheapie, and then Kyle Tucker's went out into right field. Kyle Tucker had the big home run, which he also is your pick to perform player of the game. That's right, Kyle Tucker in this game launched a 3-run homer that literally did everything for the Chicago Cubs. But let's read off Kyle Tucker's stats, if you don't mind. He went 4 for 5 in this game, 4 runs, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, a .291 batting average on the season right now. And like I said, yeah, man, he's just doing his thing right now, making it happen for the Chicago Cubs. Nico Horner, shout out to Nico Horner with the best batting average on the team right now at .294 and hitting his 3rd home run of the week. Listen, I saw a tweet and I had to laugh. I got to steal it because it's hilarious, because it's really true. Nico Horner should go to the Chicago Cubs and be like, listen, if y'all ever want to trade me to the Houston Astros. I could probably hit about 20 home runs if y'all trade me to the Houston Astros, because he loved that little short porch over there, and he is making it happen. My goodness. But yeah, man, like I said, it was all in all, it was just a really, really great outing offensively for the Chicago Cubs. Shout out to Colin Ray for doing his part too. He didn't give up a bunch of runs the other way. He didn't load the bases and everything like that. He had an okay game. He did pick up the win. This is Colin Ray's 5th win on the season. He is now 5-3 for the season. So shout out to him. And shout out to the Chicago Cubs. Ryan Brazier did an inning. Drew Pomeranz did an inning. Porter Hodge did an inning. And then Ryan Presley, actually, they played his walkout music while he was warming up, his old Houston Astros walkout music while he was warming up. And he pitched the ninth inning of this game, blowout game, where the Chicago Cubs took care of business in this game. Let's look at your stats for the other teams in the National League Central. The Milwaukee Brewers still remain 2 games behind the Chicago Cubs after defeating the Colorado Rockies today, and the St. Louis Cardinals also remain 3.5 games behind the Chicago Cubs after beating after winning today also. So and then 6 games back the Cincinnati Reds, and then all the way back the Pittsburgh Pirates, which the Pittsburgh Pirates, will actually talk about them here in a minute, because them and the Chicago Cubs names have been coming up together way too often for it to be coincidence. But that's neither here nor there. The Chicago Cubs right now are right behind the LA Dodgers for the best record in the best record in the National League as a whole. It goes Dodgers, Cubs, then after that it's everybody else. So yeah, man, the Brewers do get one more crack at the Colorado Rockies, the worst team in baseball, tomorrow, looking to inch a game behind the Chicago Cubs. But then after that, they do Mariners, Marlins, and then they'll see those Chicago Cubs. I'm sorry, no, that's at the end of the month. It gets tough again after that. They see the struggling Mets, then they do see the Marlins, then they got to face the Dodgers, then they see the Washington Nationals, then they got to face the Dodgers again, then they see the Seattle Mariners, then they see the Marlins, and then they finish off the month of July against the Chicago Cubs. You guessed it. That's right. And by then, the Chicago Cubs will have re-upped however they're going to re-up for this year. So it might be a whole different team that you're looking at for the Brewers versus Cubs series. But yeah, man, like I said, the Chicago Cubs took care of business tonight. Tomorrow's game, the Chicago Cubs will send Jameson Taillon to the bump. And Jameson Taillon, you don't want to give up the home run ball, buddy. You just don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You're going to find yourself in a very peculiar situation if you end up giving up that home run ball a lot to the Astros. The Astros are a very good home run hitting team, as you can see. They've won a lot of close games, though. So Jameson Taillon needs to have his head on straight. That is a 110 start. And we will go up against a pitcher that you don't hear a lot about. He's not nationally known, but there in Houston, he is beloved. He is 5'11", small frame guy. His name is Framber Valdez, and they absolutely love him. He is 8-4 on the season with a 2.88 ERA. He has 102 strikeouts, a whip of 1.13 on the season. This dude has been lights out for these guys. He has won his last 5 starts that he's pitched in. They beat Philly 1-0. They blew out the Athletics. They beat the White Sox 4-3. They beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 8-2, and they beat Tampa Bay 2-1. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what type of pitcher Framber is, and what this means for the Chicago Cubs. But man, if the Chicago Cubs could steal, and I'm gonna call it a steal. They beat them today, but if they could just figure out a way to steal a game tomorrow in Houston against the Astros on Sunday, man, let me tell you something. That would do so much for morale, and it would shut up a lot of the internet, Twitter, ex-Cubs fans that just continuously go up and down on this roller coaster of we're happy, we're not happy, we're happy, we're not happy, we're happy, we're not happy. Tonight they're happy. Today they're happy. Sunday might be a different story, and we might sing a different tune, but we'll see what happens. But Jameson Taillon, I know he's gonna look. Listen. If there was ever a game where J-Mo is gonna give you his best, Sunday's the day. Sunday afternoon game. He loves pitching in the afternoon. Sunday afternoon game. J-Mo's family is going to be in town. That H-Town, Houston is his old stomping grounds. J-Mo is going to give you his best. So, like I said, I'm expecting the best from him. And we'll just have to see what happens with that. So, Yeah, I mean, like I said, we will absolutely see about that. Now, our last topic for this episode, and I want to make sure that you guys know to like, share, and subscribe to this network so that you don't miss anything, especially with the big trade deadline coming up. We're gonna do a trade deadline special. And like I said, we will be counting down the days, minutes, seconds, hours to the trade deadline. Which, by the way, the MLB trade deadline, when is that? Let me double check so that we know when we're going to do that. The MLB trade deadline for 2025 is set to July 31st at 6 p.m. If I'm not in the hospital with my wife because my son was just born, I will be here live with you guys talking about the Chicago Cubs trades that they made at the deadline and reviewing those trades. So we will just have to see about that and what that looks like. But that is that is my goal, to do that with you. Now, another trade. That's right. The Chicago Cubs have been listed in another trade. What trade this time, Mike? Well, apparently the Chicago Cubs were not only looking at Mitch Keller from the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they also have their eyes on Bryan Hayes. That's right. Bryan Hayes right now is being looked at by several teams, including the Tigers, the Yankees, and the Chicago Cubs. Now, Bryan Hayes' stats for 2025, he has 280 at-bats. He has a batting average of 239. He has 2 home runs on the season, 25 RBIs, 9 stolen bases. So, like I said, the Bryan Hayes, he is looking better. In fact, in today's game alone, he singled with the bases loaded to make it 4-2 for the Pittsburgh Pirates in their game that they had today. But yeah, man, like I said, for me, it's just one of those things that I'm just looking at and I'm like, man, like, Bryan Hayes, I don't know that I would take away all of Matt Shaw's playing time if you do trade for Bryan Hayes. I'm not sure that I'm playing Bryan Hayes every single day. Now, his defense is comparable to Matt Shaw's, but his bat also this season has been comparable to Matt Shaw's. I mean, he only has one more home run than him. He has more RBIs and stuff like that. He is a little bit more of an accomplished hitter. I mean, he might see some success at Wrigley, some more success than what Matt Shaw is giving you at Wrigley. But what do you guys think below? Do you guys think that it's worth making a trade and trading for Bryan Hayes to add to the Chicago Cubs team for this season? Do you guys think that's a big enough acquisition, or are you guys stuck on Eugenio Suarez as the only option at third base for the Chicago Cubs if we're going to trade for a third baseman? We know trades are coming, just don't know when they're coming. Jed's keeping us on our toes here on the Chicago Cubs Central channel, because man, we just don't know when the trades are coming. But one thing we do know is it's a win today, so we got to fly that W. That's right. Every single time the Chicago Cubs win a game, we fly the W. This is W fly number 49 on the season. That's right, guys. The Chicago Cubs did their damn thing and beat up on those Houston Astros. Kyle Tucker did his part today to put down his old team, hitting that big 3-run homer in the 4th inning that really put things out of play for the Houston Astros. And it's been good, all good ever since then. Listen, I appreciate each and every last one of you that tuned in. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't be scared. Give a brother a call, and you can leave a voice message where you can ask me anything. It'll be uploaded to the channel, and you'll be featured here on the show with your question being answered. That's right. We love doing mailbags. Also, you can write me at cubsbaseball1992@gmail.com. I appreciate each and every last one of you. Until next time, go Cubs, go.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.